You've come with us on this journey so far, and it's made us realize that out there is so much more to see. This is the best of all of it.
Any moment now, you're going to drift into a lifestyle, a mindset, a journey. The destination is the thin space, where sky and water blend, where fantasy and adventure collide, and where the dream you follow is overtaken. We won't start without you on Discovering Water.
Speaking of the best, there are very few figures that had more of a formative and inspirational effect on this show, or yours truly, than the legendary Flip Pallot. Growing up, I, like so many fanatical fishermen, would wake up just a little earlier on the weekends to catch his masterpiece of a show, the Walker's Cay Chronicles. Little did I know when I was a kid, glued to the TV, that years later I would be sitting down at a campfire with the legend himself, exchanging fish stories and tales of our travels. Life is a funny thing. First time that I ever went to Panama, it blew my mind. How did you see it change from when you went there in the 60s?
Physical appearance basically unchanged. Not so the city.
Right,
and I know you spent some time in the city.
Yes.
It was a small town when I was there. I mean, a charming small town, not a single high-rise. Not a single high-rise.
Wow. Now it's nothing but, essentially. What really stood out for me there was having these two ecosystems where you have the rainforest right there that's virtually untouched. It hasn't been logged or anything, but having blue water right up to the shoreline where you could catch a sailfish right in the same spot. I don't really know of many places on Earth where you have a continental piece of land that you can actually, fish blue water fish right off the shoreline like that.
And yet, miraculously, with all that ocean crashing against its shoreline, there is an estuary.
Right.
Which starts a whole process on its own. I don't know if you were able to visit that. Well, I'm sure you did. And there are rivers,
right?
Huge, tremendous rivers running to the ocean, which deliver a whole abundance to the ocean and change the nature of the surrounding deltas and things. Amazing place.
It is. It really is. Since the dawn of humanity, water has been the gateway to exploration and the path to some of man's greatest discoveries. It calls to something inside of all of us. Some choose to put the call on hold and allow that something to slowly fade away. But it's never too late. And for those who are brave enough to answer, you'll discover that just around the next bend, there are soul-quenching adventures to be had everywhere. So, the next time you find yourself at a crossroads or a fork in the river, do you take the path that maintains the status quo? Or do you take a leap and answer the call? That something, of course, is a human being's innate curiosity and thirst for discovery. It's the same force that compelled early humans to cross vast, unknown oceans. And it continues to draw New Age humans of today to the ocean's deepest, most treacherous depths.
The future remains uncertain, but one thing is for sure: we will never stop exploring.
You'll love what's up next. Discovering Water is brought to you by Gulfstream Yachts.
In our travels during Season 1 of Discovering Water, we happened into some incredible chance encounters with all sorts of creatures, both above and below the waves.
Dolphins are always, can be a good omen out there, and they're obviously super intelligent, but I've never had dolphins act like this when I've been in the water before. Not like they did. Typically they'll kind of just cruise on by, they'll check you out a little bit, and they're doing something else. You know, they're going hunting or feeding, or they're doing their own thing. These dolphins were there to play. They were there to play with us.
Did you wonder at any time if maybe those were some dolphin that had been released from someplace?
I didn't think about that, but maybe. They certainly could have been.
In any case, you were lucky to have that moment.
I was, certainly. It was special.
With nearly 70% of the Earth's surface covered by water, there is more to explore out there than one person could possibly do in a million lifetimes. The ocean is a mysterious, almost alien world. But even in all of that mystery, if you look hard enough and push yourself out of your comfort zone, eventually she'll reveal secrets that will absolutely blow your mind. A healthy population of large sea creatures is a good sign for the ecosystem. And thanks to the incredible efforts of those at organizations like the Guy Harvey Ocean Foundation, these creatures still have a fighting chance.
Yeah, satellite tag is going in. Beautiful. Yeah, nice work. There she goes. Nice work! Well done. That's the last sat tag you guys needed, right? That was the last one. Nice work. That's how you do it. Preserve the species.
Water has ever carried us across the farthest horizons, around the next bend, and down through the vast canyons and forests of exploration and adventure. Your spot on board is reserved. Take your best hold. The journey begins now. Discovering Water is brought to you by Gulfstream Yachts.
For some, fishing might simply be the act of harvesting fish for consumption, but not to the enlightened. It is a passion, an obsession, and a glimpse into a curious and compelling underwater world that humans are but a visitor to. Understanding how this foreign world within our own planet works is what drives us. And in that attempt to understand, we become connected to a complex and dynamic natural system that is much greater than ourselves, in one way or another.
She's mad.
Give her a kiss. Give her a kiss.
I can't get it low.
Oh, yeah.
Big slam. That's the wettest kiss I've ever had in my life. Oh my God, that's funny. Oh my God.
When you think of marlin, what do you think of?
A brawl. Because most of the marlin that I've had, well, probably all of the marlin that I've had experience with have been on the end of a fly rod. So it's always a fish fight. By their nature, they're a maximum predator, and they don't fear the boat in any way. The noise of the props, the noise of the boat slapping, the presence of this giant boat, they're the maximum predator and they don't care. So to get them up to the back of the boat and feed them a bait or a fly or a lure or whatever is something that you don't get to do with all fishes, because other fish fear the boat.
That's true. And the marlin that we had, we were lucky enough to tease it within 15 feet of the transom and plop a bait on his head. And he just smoked it.
It's a marlin! Come on. Get the bait! Get the bait out! Marlin! It's a marlin! It's a marlin!
He got it! Yeah, marlin on, baby!
Yeah!
We
Wow.
got him! We got him for now! Yes! That's awesome! He's just ripping, look at him! Just ripping the line off of there. Yes, Albert, yes! Oh, he's getting it out there! Woo! Look at him!
There's a reason that marlin are considered by many to be the most prestigious fish to catch in the entire world. It's because they are one of the biggest, fastest, strongest, and most violent fish that have ever swam in the sea, all wrapped up into one explosive yet incredibly beautiful package. They are the big prize, but they're not the only gem that Costa Rica is known for.
You know, one of the most important things that I learned in Costa Rica over the course of many trips there is that toucans do not eat Fruit Loops.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. I wanted to share that because you may go back there. When I was there was no such thing as zip lines through the jungle and that sort of thing, and it's very big there now. And I know that you got a chance to do that.
I did.
Something that I've never wanted to do.
No, but would you?
Kidding? I just don't see myself zip-lining through the trees, but I enjoyed watching you do it.
Well, neither did Albert. But like I said, it took quite a bit of coaxing to get him to strap in and launch himself through the air. But
he did it.
He did it.
Yeah,
and then you know what? He loved it. So maybe we'll go to Costa Rica for season 2 and we'll get you up there.
When traveling, it's important to understand that the destination is the journey. The buildup of anticipation, the sights that you see, the people that you meet, And all of the adventures that you encounter on the way to the destination are often what makes traveling so special. No matter how you get there, take some time to open your mind and walk in another person's shoes. Because traveling will make you a better storyteller, but it can also leave you completely speechless. That's a nice one, huh? Woo.
Discovering Water is brought to you by Gulfstream Yachts. When I first went to Blackfly, it wasn't a lodge. They rented a home. It was a little 2-story home, not too far from where the lodge is now on Abaco, a little bit further south. And Clint, who guided you, was the ambiance director there. Clint made the whole thing run and still makes the whole thing run.
Certainly.
I mean, Clint and June still, they make the whole thing run. It's a unique place on the planet, and no small part of its uniqueness is a result of Clint.
That's a nice one, huh?
Woo! Ah, beauty.
Man, that was beautiful. There was a nice little school of like 10 or so,
Oh, yeah,
just
maybe
kind of
more.
tailing along
Big-
right there.
All big fish.
Working this ridge. They all popped up and started doing their thing, and luckily I was able to get the fly in front of the lead fish here.
He's happy.
He is happy.
Good.
Okay,
All
we're
right.
gonna let this baby go. Blackfly Lodge is a very special place indeed.
One huge aspect of that to me was having Big Mama there, just cooking up a feast for everyone. She was just the nicest lady, very soft-spoken, but man, could she cook. Whew, she took those conchs and just worked magic with them.
Yeah, she's a great lady and super, super warm, talented person. Yeah, she definitely adds to the ambiance of Blackfly.
Certainly.
Yeah, she's part of the deal.
It's a work of art. Tasty one. There's so much going on there. You got the crispiness, you got the tenderness of the conch, the sweetness, the spicy, the citrus. You're a master. You're a master. That was awesome.
Yeah, it was a pleasure doing that.
Thank you so much. Oh, okay. I'm gonna take this one.
No matter where you are on this planet, food is the ingredient that binds us all together. It's the universal language. And very often, the best foods are also the most simple.
Fried tuna, straight out of the ocean to the little village here.
Yeah? Watch out, it's gonna be hot.
Oh my God.
A great man once said, quote, "Food is everything we are. It's an extension of nationalist feeling, ethnic feeling, your personal history, your province, your region, your tribe, your grandma." It's inseparable from all of those from the get-go. Unquote. Whenever you're enjoying a traditional dish from another country, you can taste the history and the culture of that country and the history and culture of the chef who prepared it in every single bite. Having fresh ingredients is often key to making the dish as good as it could possibly be. But the only way to guarantee those ingredients are fresh is to go get them yourself.
How much free diving and pole spearing have you done in your life?
Well, no scuba diving, but just snorkel diving. Done quite a lot of that,
Yeah.
but mostly in fairly shallow water. I mean, some of the stuff that you're getting into now is serious diving. I've never been a serious diver, although I've loved what I've done.
But I love it. I like going down there on your own breath of air. That's instead of taking a scuba tank and all this extra stuff with you. It's just you. It's you and in the fish's environment. And you're there on your own accord. It's not something mechanical that's bringing you there.
Yeah.
So it takes a lot of discipline, and you really have to relax, and you have to be in fairly good shape, at least, you know, being able to hold your breath for a long time. It's exhilarating, really, I think.
When you're hunting a fish in their environment, in their alien world, all of a sudden, for just a few moments, you become a part of their world. And everything about the world above the waves disappears. However, whether above or below the surface, it's all the same planet, and it's the only one that we have. So as we charge into the 21st century, it is more important now than ever that we as humans only take what we need from nature, and that we do so in a respectful and sustainable way. Future generations depend on it. Let's make sure that our kids and our kids' kids have the ability to discover water just like we do.